Alrighty, we are live. Pardon me, from Columbus, OH, and this is answering your financial questions live with Coach Steve Money. I haven't been doing these weekend streams recently, but I'm doing one today because I didn't do an after show yesterday on Black Friday. Had day after Thanksgiving plans with my son, so no after show. So still like doing these, and so definitely wanted to do 5 streams this week, and so you get answering your financial questions live, and that is on hiatus. This series is, as far as happening every single weekend, but occasionally I will do one. Alrighty, so let's get going. And unlike the after show where I talk about the market and talk about other financial things that are going on with articles and so forth, or even articles on things that don't have anything to do with money, I just think are interesting, and occasionally a song. I don't do any of that on the Answering Your Financial Questions stream. I just answer financial questions. And to do that, we go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. And we sort by new, and we go down to the bottom one, or at least the one above the last one that I've done. And the reason I don't go from the top is so that I don't miss any questions, because there's only 1,000 at a time, and I do enough of these streams to where I run out. And let's see, 4 days, maybe I won't run out here, but I do have extra questions from the Ramsey Baby Steps community on Facebook if we run out. So we'll see how it goes here. All right, that's from Top Knot 496. Advice on vehicle. I'm 18 and work a full-time apprenticeship. I only make $15 an hour right now, which is $2,000 a month. 4 months ago, I financed a car for $21,000. Do 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 do. And I absolutely love the car, but I'm not sure if I want to continue to make the payments. That would not be advised to continue to do that. Sell it. The minimum payment is $407 a month, but I'm paying $1,500 to get it paid off quick. Well, I mean, if you really love it, you can sacrifice in other areas. Pick something else to cut out of your budget, or multiple things that make up that $407 a month, and get it done and work extra. Get a part-time job and work extra, at least until the car is paid off, if you do choose to keep it. So this plan is all about sacrificing temporarily so that you make your future better. And of course, the definite way to make your future better is to not finance anything else ever again, except maybe a house you live in. Too much depreciation on cars. So those are all always cash purchases, and you don't get a new car unless you are, which if it was 21,000, it probably wasn't a new car. And so, but you wouldn't get a new car even if you're paying cash unless you are a millionaire. So that's how that works. And if you don't know what a millionaire is, that's someone that has $1 million net worth. They don't have to make $1 million a year. That's not a millionaire. Boom. I paid almost 7K on it, so I'm down to 14K. Okay, great. And that was what, 4 months ago? So you paid 7. So yeah, I would cut the budget to the, if you want to keep it. I wouldn't personally keep it if I was in your same shoes and had that payment. I would not keep it. I would sell it and get a cheap car instead. Beater, as we say. I could just have this car paid off within a year, and see, that's the part that's not acceptable. It's just letting it go. Even with the extra that you're doing, you need to work more to pay it off. You need to cut more stuff out of your budget, things that aren't 100% necessary, you don't have to buy those, and you could save that money and put that money towards the car if you really absolutely love it, as you said. But I'm just barely scraping by. Yeah, see, that's the issue. And you could stop doing that immediately if you sold the car. If I sell it, I'll probably only get 2 to 3K after paying off the loan. Well, that is fabulous, because most people would be out of well, it has only been 4 months, so maybe you're doing well there, because a lot of people have this problem and have to sell the car and they're underwater on it, which means they can't even sell it for what they owe on it. They have to sell it for less than what they owe on it and come up with the cash somehow to pay the difference. And so, and of course, it is like, say, it was the opposite way, and he would be 2 to 3K short if he sold it. Well, that's fine. And Dave Ramsey does advise you getting a 2 to 3K loan in order to get rid of a $14,000 loan, because you are still getting rid of debt that way. So yeah, you can always trade in one higher loan for a lower loan, always. After paying off the loan, so that's going to be a lot of money down the drain. Yep. I still have, that two to 3,000 isn't. I mean, the problem is you think you have a car that's worth a certain amount, but it's really only worth what you can get on it after you subtract what you owe on it. So to you, it's only worth the $2,000 to $3,000. So you got to get that way of thinking out of your head, because that's dumb. That's poor people thinking. And so that is not going to be a lot of money down the drain. What it is down the drain is like the payments you've made on it so far, because it's stupid tax for financing that car, which you shouldn't have done. Still live with my parents, so I don't have any bills other than insurance and gas, which cost me less than $400 a month combined. What should I do? Not drive around that much. Sounds like there might be extra driving involved, unless per month. Insurance and gas is $400. That's crazy. So I would take a look at how much you're driving. Don't do any joyriding or any of that stuff. Again, all of that stuff needs to be cut out, even if you do decide to keep the car. But the advice would be to sell it, and then you buy a car with that 2 to 3K that you would get there. And then guess what? Then you get to save up money instead of just paying off the vehicle. You can save up money to move out of parents' house, and full emergency fund and any other things that you would need money for. Oh, let's see. This from Burning Towns. All right. Well, generally you don't want them to be burning. First snowball debt paid off. Feeling extremely proud of myself. Feeling extremely proud of myself. As I go to pay off the balance on my couch. All right. For those, I have one of those finally. I did for a very long time, and when I moved to Arkansas, I got one, but I paid cashish for that. No balance on that. For those wondering where I got the money from, this has been mainly from building up over a handful of paychecks and from my second job waiting tables. Okay. Having money to pay off debt from paychecks and getting a second job to help do it faster is great. But as I often say, you do not build it up over time. If you have 10 extra dollars, you send it every month. Whatever you have extra, you put on the debt every month, and then you pay less interest on it. And it works the same way the opposite way. It works on investing. Let's see, where is that? Right there. Let's use S&P 500. And the people that watch me all the time, they know this already. They've been through this. Uh, I like to go from the pandy. There's a pandy crash right there. And so the problem with you saving up, a lot of people do think it's best to, oh, I'll just save up a big bunch of money and I'll put it all in the market all at the same time. The problem is if you do it right here and then it crashes, then you've lost money. If you do it right here, which is at the low of the pandy crash, and then it came back really quickly. But the problem is if you're waiting until you like say, oh, well, okay, so it's back where it was. I'm going to just wait to see how it does. Make sure it keeps going up. And then you just save money. You're not getting any of this growth in here. And then like say you decide to, okay, well, let's go, it's going up pretty well. I'll go ahead and buy now. And if you buy right here, then it's gone down in this period of time. So again, you're missing all the growth. So that's why you invest out of each paycheck. You invest on schedule, whether the market is up or down. And paying off debt is the same way. You pay it off as you get the extra money. You don't save up a big amount to apply to it. Oh, let's see what else we got here. I bought the couch, stupidly, yep, on credit that I couldn't afford at the time, yep, but now I've knocked it out. I'm going home to celebrate by laying on my couch for a few hours, maybe all night, who knows? Baby step 2 flare. All right, good job. Good job. You know, that's how you have to do it. You got to get the first one paid off. And then now, if apparently has other ones, since it says the first snowball and not only snowball debt. So apparently there's more, but you got to do that first one first. And now you have more money to apply to. You would put the payment that you were making there, the minimum payment, and then now plus everything. So I would keep that second job. I would keep that budget tight, and then you can put all that money to the next lowest debt. And that's how it works. And eventually you're done with it and don't have to pay off debt anymore. And then that extra money every month, then that goes back to you in the form of your full emergency fund. Fun times. Adventurous Buyer 152, need advice. My wife and I are planning to move across country in August when I separate from the military. We will be, I guess, going from East Coast to West Coast. All right, your coasts are going to be more expensive generally. We currently have $10,000 in credit card debt, $30K on 2 cars, and sell the cars, and $195K left on the house. You're going to be selling the house in August anyway, but I mean, you could sell it now if you wanted to, and just rent the rest of the time until you leave in August. Let's see, I work full-time and go to school part-time, and my wife is working full-time. I plan on getting a second job after the holidays and am wondering if we should save up to fix the house before we sell it or pay off our debt excluding the house. No, you just sell it for cheaper. If you lower it enough, somebody will buy it. So you know, and they will be able to tell, because they, you know, or their realtor will tell them this is a good deal because you normally would have to pay X amount for it, but it's only listed for this amount. It is, you know, whatever it is, it's missing a roof, but it's that money is marked off of the house, and so that way you don't have to go up and go into debt to fix that. What it sounds like you would have to do. So that's no. And if you're following Mr. Ramsey's advice, it doesn't say it here on the list of baby steps, but baby step 0, part of that is deciding that you're going to pay off your dumb, stupid debt. And secondly, you're not going to take out any more ever, except for maybe for a house that you live in, and this fixing it up before selling it does not count as part of that. So now your realtor will tell you to fix the house before you sell it, because the realtor wants the price for the house to be as much as possible so that he or she can get the as much possible commish off of that. Before we sell it, or pay off our debt excluding the house. Yes, pay off your debt with any money. You don't fix up the house. My concern is that the house does needs repairs. All right. Roughly around 15K. Yeah, so you deduct 15K from the house price of what it's worth, or what you would plan to sell it for. Even, I mean, you can sell it for whatever you want. You can list it for even more than it's worth, for sure. But basically, you just do 15K, and I would have the realtor put that in the description of it. It's, needs repairs, blah blah blah. Be specific on that, and say that the house is marked down $15,000 so that you have enough money to do that, because we're not doing it. I know we should focus one thing at a time. That is correct. English as well. Focus on one thing at a time. But I would like some advice, input. Thank you. All right. So I've given it. So that's the way it is. Do not fix up the house. You pay off your debt. You also have to save money to move with. So you don't want to put that on. You don't want to finance the move either. So you got to make sure you have enough for that. And hopefully you're not moving from a lower cost of living area on the East Coast to a higher cost of living area on the West Coast. This from Vast Reaction 249. Just paid off the cards. The car is next. Fabulous. Short and sweet there, but that's always good. That's always good. Good job. And posts like that, it's just very short, but that gives people that are reading this the hope and motivation, hopefully, because they see it can be done. And chat disconnecting and reconnecting, all within the same minute. Still weird. Thanks to anybody who's watching, by the way, whether live now or after the fact. Much appreciated, especially on something like today where it wasn't announced really ahead of time. I put it in the Ramsey show chat yesterday, but that was, other than that, no announcement of it, so much appreciated. Paid off my car today from Additional Pain 5223. I got an extra paycheck today and decided to pay off my car loan in full. Fabulous. It wasn't due until January 2027. Okay, that the due dates and the minimums don't matter. We're not doing due dates and minimums, at least not on the lowest debt. Now all that's left is student debt. Okay, great. Enrolled in PSLF, that's what is it? Personal Student Loan Forgiveness. And have a fairly low monthly payment, so I'm on my way with that. Just because you're enrolled in it, guess what? That doesn't mean it happens. And for most people, it doesn't happen. So no breath holding on that. So you should pay that off early. Husband also paid off his car in advance, so no car payments for either of us. Small wins, yep, and that part's fabulous, but where you're paying off yours and he's paying off his, that to me sounds like finances aren't together, and so that is not the advice either. Should be working as a team. All the money goes together to the smallest debt. Denver, short for Denver. Den Broncos 777. Should I invest in the stock market? 7 was John Elway's number. He was quarterback for Denver Broncos. Oh, it's been a minute since then, though. Should I invest in the stock market? Yes. Retirement investing is advised once you get to step 4. And so you do not do it if you do not have $1,000 emergency fund. You do not invest in the market if you have non-mortgage debt. And you do not invest in the stock market if you do not have a full emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. You do 1, 2, and 3 in order without doing any higher steps. But then you're on step 4, and so you should be investing 14% of your gross income into retirement, and that would be managed mutual funds. You're not playing single stocks, you're not day trading or doing any dumb stuff. Let's see. Hi, guys. Currently working full time. I go to school part time. My wife goes to nursing school full time. She'll be done with nursing school in a little less than a year and a half. With my monthly expenses paid, I am able, to save about $500 to $1,000 a month. I've been wondering, do I just keep saving all my money for my first home, or should I invest some money in the stock market? Okay, so got a lot of stuff going on here. So if your schooling is all paid for and nursing school is all paid for, then yeah, you can wait on investing for 2 years while you save up a larger down payment faster. You can do that. Or you can do so once you get baby step 3 and you have the full emergency fund, so that's what you should do at first if you do not have the full emergency fund. You should do that first. But then once you're done with baby step 3, 3B is the down payment. And your balance between baby step 3B, down payment, and baby step 4, investing, that balance is up to you for 2 years. And so it can be 0. You can do up to a match and just the match if you'd like, and put everything else to the house. So it just depends on your priority, how much you are, how much you want to have a house. And especially the younger you are, the more time you would have left in the market. And so the 2 years really isn't you lost some, but by wanting a house, you're going to lose some anyway whenever you do that, because you're going to be buying a house instead of. But house 99.9% of the time will appreciate in value, though, so it could end up being a wash. But anyway, that's the advice. You can take 2 years off of investing while you save up a larger down payment, but you do have to be on baby step 4 or 3B to do the down payment. So that means you do not have any non-mortgage debt, and you don't have any mortgage apparently because you haven't bought a house yet, and you do have your full emergency fund. All right. Little agua. Real ad 1811, and this is not an ad. Can someone please recommend a higher paying career for me? Oh, sure, be a surgeon. I mean, I don't know what to say on these things. Google it. Try to do something you're interested in. And a lot of people also put on here, they take Ken Coleman's career assessment, and that just tells your strengths and so forth. And of course, it doesn't automatically apparently doesn't automatically pop up and said which would be good in these careers, and it doesn't say that. So maybe Google those strengths and what career, and you could get some recommendations from there. But I particularly don't know exactly. I can guess. It's like leadership. That would be maybe management or something like that. What's the first one here? Highly organized. Yeah, that's anything where you have to pay attention to detail. That's like, accountant, that kind of thing. So, it's just common sense like that. But nobody can ever think of anything. Cubic Hello Co. All right. My budget for 2025. open the whole thing, and it's in a nice list form here. Budget for 2025. So I guess we're starting with, is that the budget for 2025? Oh yeah, that is. Okay. All right. So I thought he was given current information, or she or he, and after that would have been what it is starting in 2025, which we got a whole other month of 2024 left. Don't skip over Christmas for sure. Started decorating, got the lights on the stairs and tree. It's a small tree. It's not such a bad little tree though. Monthly income, salary take home is $56.80. Social Security net after Medicare payment includes 2.5%. 2025 cost of living adjustment, okay, 2946. And so if you're adding both of those together, that's like $8,600. Okay, 8626 is right there. Very nice. Subscriptions. So if you don't, it depends on what baby step you are, how many subscriptions you should have. Screambox and Shudder, those sound like two horror movie streamers, and again, that's fine. There's a lot better than paying cable, but so you do have $83 for YouTube TV on there as well. So again, it just depends on what baby step as to how the budget is. But let's see what else in there. Prime, Amazon Prime, Cream Magazine, all right. Fangoria Magazine, all right. Walmart plus food delivery service is $8 per month. All right. TerraVision LP Record Club prorated. All right. See, sometimes these hobby things need to be put aside. Depends on the baby step you have. So I can't really advise without that. Total monthly subscriptions, 174 monthly. That is a lot. You have to base that on, again, what baby step you're on, and also what it is. So like Prime, that could, if you get a lot of stuff from Amazon, that could end up being a win for you, overpaying the shipping amount. But also, hey, don't buy a lot of stuff off of Prime. But like if you're on subscriptions and stuff, and that's some of your groceries, and you're saving money by doing that, more power to you. And so maybe it works out. But as far as all of these streaming services, magazines, and other stuff, that's not 100% necessary to live. So on steps 1, 2, and 3, you wouldn't be doing any of those, and that 174 a month would be going to whatever baby step you're on in 1, 2, and 3. Auto tag, okay, prorated again. All right, just breaking it down. I do that as well on my yearly expenses or the 6-month expenses, like paying auto insurance in advance, and you get a break for that generally. For paying it all in advance. Let's see, AAA, no problem with that. AVG, computer security, VPN, okay, no problem with that either. Auto insurance, full coverage, paid off 2020 car, $103, all right. Again, you could maybe, if you're not paying that off or paying the full premium every 6 months, you could possibly save another $20 or so on that. ISP landline, okay, internet service provider is what ISP stands for, in case you didn't know. Interesting, having a landline. Cell phone, pay as you go, 25, that's not bad enough. Food, no eating out ever. Well, that's fabulous. And so if you're like on a higher baby step, if you're on baby steps 4 and above, and you don't eat out ever, and you have rarely cooked food delivery, okay, so you do get some delivery, but it's from the grocery store. So I mean, if you're not ever eating out, then maybe that evens out all the subscriptions. And so that's why, again, it depends on what baby step you're on. If you're on 4, I don't have any problem with this budget so far. Unless I see when we look at the amounts at the end, we'll see. Includes housewares, garbage bags, paper towels, right? Got it. What does? I don't know what that means. That has nothing to do with food. No eating out ever. Rarely cooked food delivery. I don't know what that means. That means you don't have to pay for those, or those are included with. I don't think. Did we have grocery? We just had the. Yeah, we didn't have grocery. Maybe they left it out. We got the Walmart Plus food delivery service on here. Oh, it's all included in this. Okay, so household garbage bags, paper towels, etc. And personal items. That's why I got confused, because I thought this was all just personal items like toilet paper, deodorant, etc. And the cat food, and that's $500 a month. That might be a little excessive. If it's just one person, that might be a little excessive. Try to get that down. Rent very, very, very low for Miami. I hit a rainstorms ain't nothing to mess with. But I can't fill a drip on the strip. Standards on a two bedroom, 2 bathroom condo. Been here 18 years. That's a long time. $1,200. All right. Electric 50, gasoline 50. Okay, none of this is a problem yet. I can tell. Supplement vitamin. Prorate based on 2024 expenses. Lottery, yeah, $300 a month. Yeah, that would be a no. You would cut that out. Sinking funds, taxes. Don't have it deducted from Social Security. Okay, but you are saving it, so got no problem with that either. So that is what, $300 a month. Okay, so as long as then you have it to pay when you owe it. Excuse me. Medicare deductibles copayment $341. All right. Total living expenses excluding debt payment. Okay, so if you got debts, you're cutting out a bunch of this stuff. In my humble opinion, and like the ones I said, everything I said, that's fine if you're in baby step 4. You're not. You're in baby step 2. So that means all of those are a no. You cut all those out. Maybe you have one streaming service, and other than that, there's no hobbies. There's just working extra. But still, you can still do those sinking funds because you do still owe the money for those things. So that is fine. So without debt payment is $3,273, and that's why the rest of the stuff would be fine if there was no debt. But there's debt. Creditor $26,000. No, $28,000. Excuse me. And that's $1,232 a month. All right. Yeah, so that's a no. Sorry, even if it's just that one. Yeah, I don't know what it means. It's just one. You have just one creditor. $20,000 loan, and you're doing $1,232 a month on it. All right, I'm doing more. I'm stopping all that other extra crap. I mean, you're not living high on the hog except for your extra subscriptions and stuff. And so I would cut that out, and also work another job to get rid of this, and then the rest of it, though, you can get all the subscriptions back. So it's just a temporary thing as far as getting another job and cutting back on those subscriptions. Left over every month is 4121. So all that should be going to the debt. Where's it going? Where's it going then? Where's it going? Let's see. I have absolutely no saving investment of any type. Okay, nothing to cash out. So you wouldn't do that until you're on step 4 anyway. Have had this total income for less than 2 years. Okay, great. All this extra, what is that going on now? What is that going to? Is the question. I'll probably be out of job in 6 months or so and can't work anymore. Why is that? Oh, due to serious health issues, will be able to cover my living expenses with just my Social Security alone, but will not be able to meet my debt obligation. Okay. I would have been, all right, well, you're spending a lot of money to be in that, to have all that debt. So if you pay it off before then, which in 6 months is probably too late, so you should have started long ago on this, and then you'd be in much better position to handle being out of a job in 6 months and not able to work again ever. So yeah, so I mean, it's not going to happen this way. You're going to have to sell some stuff, or try to find something you can do to work. I mean, you have a heart. Was a serious to serious health issues. So, and you can't do any work at all, not even part-time. So I would challenge the person on that, because you can't make your financial situation better without an income. You can't do that. And you have some, but you're spending too much money, and you have been for a while. Elder orphan, no close family, no friends, partners, etc. I use cashback credit cards to pay most expenses and pay them off in full. That's not advised either. At the end of the period. Oh, at the end of the period of like each month or whatever. Opinions, this is not necessary a flex / humble brag. No, it's not. I wouldn't even consider that. Oh, I have debt. I don't think that's a good thing. So, no. I admit that I'm just looking for attention / approval or whatever today. Well, you're not going to get mine on that because you have debt. And so it's not sustainable. So, what's the plan here about your debt? I know I'm not the only one on Reddit doing the same. Yeah, of course not. There's people on Reddit doing all kinds of things. Some the same as you, some not the same as you. But yeah, I wouldn't think it's a brag. I just think you're not looking at it with an eye. Oh, I need to pay this debt off quickly and find a way to do that before you lose your job and get the expenses, total expenses per month, less than what will be coming in. So okay, so this budget for 2025, you can't have a budget for 2025 because you won't be making that money all of 2025. So this is only a budget for what, 5 months of 2025? But at the end of that time, so every single cent needs to be, so if you cut out all of this stuff and every single extra cent, because look, there's $4,000 difference. $4,000 difference. So where is that going is what I want to know. And maybe the person has been paying it off and just is not saying. So where's that $4,000 going? Maybe just in savings or whatever. So, but if you do that, it's $28,000 and times 4, 6 times 4 is 24,000. Yeah, so if you can probably just get to paying it off, and then you won't have you won't have the debt to pay off. And so once you don't have the debt to pay off, you could just about have that if you cut all the stuff out that I said to cut out. And then the total living expenses without the debt payment is $32.73. And again, you can, if you can't afford it, you have to cut out all that stuff that's not 100% necessary. But let's see, Social Security and Medicare payment after the Medicare payment, 29.46. So you have to get rid of, even after you get rid of this debt, you have to pay off, and that there's no 30 payments left. That's not how it works. You pay it off as quickly as possible, but you have to get like $300. You have to lower this by $300, and better case more, so you can save up full emergency fund. If you don't have it, does it say no savings of any type, so no emergency fund either. So you would only have $1,000 now while you still have that debt. But I mean, you can be in a much better situation by the time you um, are going to be out of a job. But I would again try to find some way to bring in money by doing something. Anything at all will help. And you have to have an income to make the baby steps work, to make your financial situation better. What up, HB? Aslan said that means they use Uber Eats. Oh, the delivered, yeah. A lot in cat food, yeah. And I think, yeah, it's some of the cat, but then maybe there's other food don't have to buy. So I would think you could definitely find $300 in there, but then there's still no emergency fund. HB says they don't go out to eat, but Uber. Yeah, I got you. So cheating, and so I mean, still $500. It's not that bad, but if you cut out the eating out, cut out the delivery services, the Uber Eats, and then that will lower it. So again, that's just a single person, so nobody to argue with about the cutting the expenses. So just do it. Mr. Eyes J2, should I sell my house to pay debt? Normally, if you're asking, that's going to be a yes. I think they got 2 calls on the Ramsey show last week. I think 2. I know one. They definitely said you don't need to sell your house. On the second one, I think there was 2 of them where they said you don't need to. Definitely one though. Let's see. Need advice. I'm 45, make roughly $200K a year. I am about $130K in debt. Oh, let's see. Go ahead and open this up so we don't have to do it later. Oh, it was just like 2 words extra other than what would fit on the main page. 130K in debt, spending and traveling too much after my divorce. Yeah, don't do that. And if it's too late, if you've already done too much of that, then guess what happens? You sell the house and you have to do without a house. And so you're renting. Good job. Good job. I hope the spending and traveling too much was worth it. I own a home and owe $460,000. It is worth $780 to $860. Okay, and so that would more than do that. So you could just move down in house. If you are divorced and you live alone, then guess what? You don't need a house that expensive. You need a 1-bedroom would be fine for you. Now I'm remarried and my wife doesn't work. I'm wondering if I should sell and take the profits, pay off everything, and start fresh with new habits. Yeah, that'd be fabulous if you did all of that. Great. I'm 99% sure no layoffs are coming my way, so the 200K should be minimum I will make for the years to come. My wife has a kid, 16-year-old. I have 2, but one is out of the house, and the other one is 13. Oh yeah, my wife is pregnant. Refinancing with rates where they are at would almost double my payment. Yeah, doubling it. No, I'm moving down. Move down in house. So you get a $300,000 house. Or I mean, that should be the max mortgage that you get. I mean, if you didn't have any debt, you could do on 200K, you would do what is that? 4 and 5. So you could get would $500,000 house is what you can afford. A $500,000 mortgage is what you can afford on 200K a year. But you have all the extra expenses of wife not working, and 2 kids, 3 kids altogether. And so that's going to be a little bit extra to consider. And so you need to look at your budget as well before you decide what kind of house to buy. But you don't have to buy the most mortgage that they'll give you. You don't have to do that. You can buy a very cheap house. Would almost double my payment. I think is too much for me. Yep. Part of this debt is a 67K HELOC, if that makes a difference. Thanks in advance. Yeah, you would get rid of that too when you sell the house. So yeah, you got to move down in housing, whether you're renting or buying a much, much cheaper house. So yeah, you got to do that regardless. And then you got to see what your budget looks like as far as what you should be getting as far as a mortgage amount. Rainbow Dark Knight. Seriously, how do I choose a career at 30? Well, 29 years old and I work a blue collar job. Okay, you stick with that job while you figure it out. So, and theoretically, you would do something that you would enjoy doing. If you don't enjoy doing any work at all, then just stay with your blue collar job. I make about 50K a year, which is enough to get by, but not enough to build anything with it. I'd like to start a real career, but all I see is half the people saying, learn to code. Yep. I mean, that's what they say. While the other half says coders won't have a job in 5 years. Possibly. AI do be taking a bite. I should mention that at 19 and 21, I got OWIs over, what is that? Oh, drink, yeah, over, I don't know, we call it DUI in the states that I've lived in. So I don't know, I do not drink anymore. And they were both very low. Doesn't matter. Blood alcohol content. And that eliminates all driving jobs, right? So you wouldn't think you would have a career as a driving job anyway. I don't know what to do. Are there any suggestions from this community? 56 people that answered, so maybe they had some good ideas, but we will not be able to tell you what is best for you. You would know that. And if you can't figure that out, you need to put more work into it. Do research on careers and find out. You can take Ken Coleman's career assessment and find out what your strengths are, if any. And then you can Google those strengths and see what career that matches up with. And you can try that. That may not work out either. That's the problem. You would have to try before you'll know. I can't, nobody can tell you, even yourself deciding, can tell you, oh, you do this career and then you'll be good. Nobody can tell you that because nobody can tell you how it's going to go. So get to work. Put some work in on your own stuff instead of just running to the Reddit and wanting people to solve it for you. 1 year mostly following the Ramsey principles. How poorly would Dave and you rate us? I think I did this one already, didn't I? That's a no. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Good progress. I've made some middling Dave Ramsey approved decisions. Do-it-yourself kitchen renovation. That would have been a no. 2 vacations, no. Failed at cutting out restaurants entirely. 5K estimated. Yeah, all that's a no. So, how would Dave Ramsey rate your 2024 performance on a scale of 1 to 100? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how I would rate it either. You're not doing the baby steps. So, you can just keep doing the same dumb crap you've been doing. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. You're not doing the baby steps. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter. Well, I'm doing a little bit of this one. That's not enough to matter. So just keep doing your same dumb stuff if you want to do that. Or if you want to make your situation better, you would not do dumb crap and you would do the baby steps in order as written and not mostly following it. You know, I wouldn't even say you're mostly following it because you're doing too much dumb crap and that negates all the stuff that you might be doing correctly. So that's a nay. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it would rate you. You're not doing it. So you get a 0. Capitan Pino or Pino. $1,000 emergency fund question. All right, I have an answer. Hey all, hi guys. I just hit the goal of saving $1,000. Woohoo! And the classic stereotype of car problems, literally, happened 2 days later. AC compressor is out and now the battery is dead. All right, maybe you got something involved with the AC that is draining the battery, or guess what? You just need a new battery. Could be. Since it's winter here in Houston, wife and I are gonna wait on the compressor. Yeah, guess what? Even when it's summer, you can live without it. You'll live for short trips in a hot car. But definitely need a battery, okay? So the question is, do I restore it back to 1,000 after getting the battery, or do I just start? I mean, batteries don't cost that much. You can't just cash flow it. You can't just cut out something dumb out of your budget this month and buy the battery with that. If you can cash flow it, you don't tap the emergency fund. If you got to tap the emergency fund, because you got to have transportation to get to work, if you got to do that, you got to do that, and then yes, you would restore it back. You don't. What would be the point of saving $1,000 and then having an emergency happen, and then all of a sudden you don't need $1,000 anymore? That's dumb. Yes, you still need the $1,000 forever. So anytime you use money out of it, you pause the baby steps. Baby step 2, you pause that and you go back to step 1 and get that back up to $1,000. So yes. Sorry if it's a dumb question. Following Ramsey because I'm generally dumb with money and life. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. But yeah, it logically, if you were supposed to do that, then why would it be $1,000? It would be lower than $1,000 if he didn't want you to have $1,000. Guess what? He wants you to have $1,000 at all times for emergency fund. Best option or tops? I don't know what that means. Striking ad 8402. I don't know what best option or top means. I have an index Roth annuity S&P 500. 1 year point to point. Should I change it? Yes. No annuities. I mean, is this different things? Or is it a Roth annuity account? Which I don't know what that is. Let's see if that's a thing that I'm not aware of. Generally, an annuity is not going to be recommended. A Roth annuity is a retirement annuity that allows your investments to grow tax-free and provides tax-free income during retirement. Okay. Well, it's funded with after-tax dollars. Yep. And so, and are taxed. Oh, rather, unlike the ones that are, yeah, okay. What else about it? You fund it, grows tax free. Okay, so that's the same as. But generally, like I said, an annuity is not going to be as good as just a straight investment. There are different types of annuities, including fixed, indexed, and variable annuities. Each type has different pros and cons. Yeah, I would just take the The 7 annuity sins they don't want you to know. I would just, like I said, I don't know anything about them. Dave Ramsey doesn't like them because they make less, and I'm assuming this one does too, even though it is a Roth annuity. Because something bad, even though it has Roth in front of the name of it, you wouldn't want to do something, because then you got something like good, bad. Roth is good, annuity's bad, and so it's a bad version of a good investment account. So that would be a no. Guess what? You don't need an annuity because you can just withdraw money out of a Roth IRA. So you don't need it to be in an annuity. Interesting. Yeah, I'd never heard of that. Sell my car. This from what is that? Ramsey 31. Should I sell my car that's almost paid off to buy a used car and also finish paying another car? Yes, or sell that one too. I have 2 month payment left on my car. My wife's car still has $4,500 left on the loan. My car, so probably if you only have 2 more payments on it, then pay that one off early if possible. Yes, do that. My car's Kelly Blue Book value is around 12K. Oh, it's almost paid off. I see what you're saying. 12 to 14K. Should I sell my car or get a used car for 7, 8K or less? How about $3,000, $2,000? The cheapest decent car you can get. How about that? But the answer again is yes to all this. Boom, and pay off my wife's car since it is next in the snowball method. Okay, snowball method after my car. So yes, good idea. Because that gets rid of both payments. Even though the one would be gone in 2 months anyway, but it being worth more than you owe on it, you can use that money to replace your car and pay off the wife's car. So yes, so that gets rid of both of those debts by selling it and replacing yours. HFD 1375 paying off my mortgage. What? Did I go too far? Where did I get that? I don't even know where I just read that from. Where did I read that from? Oh, young, starting career, saving for retirement to be well off. Yeah, do that. You don't need an annuity. No annuity. Oh, did that one already, and did the car one. Okay, where did I get the mortgage? Oh, I started reading there. Okay, paying off mortgage. I'm retiring with 10K a month pension. All right. I don't know why I started there. Weird. I hashtag dementia. 10K a month pension. I also have about $850,000 in an investment account. I owe 700K on a mortgage at 5.25 interest. It's close to 3,800 in interest a month. It's close to 3,800 in interest a month. Yeah, well, you can move down in house if you want. I'm considering taking the tax hit and just pay off the mortgage with the 850K. If that's a brokerage account, that's fine. I have other paid for property and revenue sources. Thoughts? You could sell one of those as well, and keep your house if you like it, or not sell it. And keep the investment. You could sell one of the properties that you have, or you only have one other property, so you could sell that property too. So just thinking outside the box. I mean, you may like to be a landlord, and if that's making money for you, if that's a revenue source, then maybe you'd rather have that than the 850K in the investment account. But yeah, you would not have that 850K in a non-retirement account and also still have a mortgage, because step 6 is to pay out the mortgage early, and you're only investing 15% of gross income, and you don't have an extra account with investing other than your retirement investing while you're still on step 6. Now on step 7, knock yourself out. You can have as many accounts as you want to. Recommendations such: 18, when is a financial advisor worth it? 25, man, when they make you more than they cost. That's what I would assume. Or if you don't know anything about anything and they explain it to you without making you any money, and then you understand it, that would also be worth X amount. Post on the app. Reddit is always active. Marking. Baby step 2, unsure in this transition where I really am. What? What does marking baby step 2 mean? Unsure in this transition where I really am. Hey guys, 25-year-old here. I have a serious girlfriend whose lease expires in July of 2025 and we plan on moving in together. Do not do that. That is not the advice unless you get married first. If you can move in together, you can get married first. If you can't get married, why can't you get married? You shouldn't move in together. I feel like, for me, that I can afford a home and don't need a financial advisor, while my parents advise differently. Okay. It also depends on like what you make. If you're talking about just to tell you whether you need to buy a house or not, it depends on, again, if you're married, that would be the only time you would buy a house together. I've been at my current job since graduation 3 years ago. I had a promotion, 5 to 7% raise every year in August. Great. And had a raise on top of that every year. 7 to 10% in December. Okay, great. So 12 to 20 pay increase every year. Great. I'm at 57K a year hourly. Okay, so here's what you do. You use your current income, not you counting on it's going to be 12 to 20% more next year. Because guess what? Maybe you won't get any. Maybe they have to tighten the belt over that, the company, and they can't give you that for next year. So you don't make plans, you don't buy a house, and you don't calculate what payment you can afford on a raise that is not 100% happening. 57K a year hourly, expect to be 65K this year. Yeah, expect it, fine, but you don't count on it. With overtime pre-tax. Currently, my boss has openly told me she's grooming me to take a position which will put my, okay, and that sounds good too, but you, always in motion is the future. You do not know what's going to happen. So you don't buy a house based on what you may or may not make in the future. Will put my salary at 80K a year. I cannot count on this, so I act like it won't increase. Act like you won't get the raises as well. Because just because you've gotten them in the past doesn't mean that will continue. My only debt is student loans at 3K. Right, you would have to pay those off if you're going to follow Mr. Ramsey's advice. You would pay that off because, as you can, so you see, Theo. Baby step 2 is right here. Saving up the down payment is between steps 3 and 4. It's baby step 3B, right there. And steps 1, 2, and 3 you do in order, one at a time, without doing higher steps. So that's a no on house until you get all of your non-mortgage debt bye-bye, and that's those student loans. Girlfriend's only debt is student loans. Less than 10K. She makes 55K a year. Great. Again, no house with her unless you're married, if you're going to follow Mr. Ramsey's advice. We both budget, invest. So you wouldn't be investing while you're doing that if you're following Mr. Ramsey's advice. You bothered to put baby step 2 on here, so maybe you'd like to know what the Ramsey advice is, and it's right here on the page. Or if you just Googled the baby steps, or if you just looked around enough on the website, RamseySolutions.com, or you watch the Ramsey show, or even my show, After Show, and Answering Your Financial Questions Live, you would know that there's a thing called the baby steps, and it has the answers to all your questions right here in list form. We both budget, invest, and hate seeing the number on the screen go down. Wah. With our income and interest rate on loans, even if the market crashes, we can cover our debt so we do not pay them off, and that is not the advice either. It doesn't say anywhere on there, pay off debts from smallest to largest using the debt snowball method, unless you can cover your debts, and then it's fine. It doesn't say that on there anywhere, so that's dumb as crap. At what point would you recommend a financial advisor? I would recommend first that you do the baby steps. You're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. He's the no debt guy. So what about him being the no debt guy? Don't you understand that it doesn't change just because you can cover your debts? That is dumb as crap. So you don't need one. You don't need one. You just need to pay off your debt before you buy a house. And then once you have the full emergency fund, which you would do before you start investing, so you would stop your dumbass investing, and you would pay off the debt. And you don't start investing again until after baby step 3, your full emergency fund. But in there also is the house down payment, so you may want to delay the investing even further. 25 years, you still got 40 plus years in the market, so you got plenty of time on that. So get your dumbass debt paid off. I feel like people do a lot of feeling like. You feel like what? That's a bad Yoda there. I feel like for me, if we had the discipline to make it out of our early 20s on a budget, we can continue doing what you're doing. Okay? That's fine. And that's where you lose me. Then in that case, why bother putting baby step 2 on here? Why bother asking at all? Why not just do what you want to do if that's what you feel like? For me, just do that. It's dumb bullcrap, but go ahead and do it. If you're not interested in it, why ask about it? Why do you need justification? Just if you think that's the right way to go, do it. If you don't, I would trust a proven person that has done this, has given this advice for 30 years. It has millions of documented success stories as well, and your way does not. No other financial advice has anywhere near the track record of Mr. Ramsey. So you're doing too much, I feel like, instead of you just do something that has been proven to work. It's up to you, though. Your life and your money. So knock yourself out, but you're not interested. So go ahead. What would Dave say? A 42-year-old single mom of 2 teenagers making $92,000 plus child support. It's time to upgrade my 2011 Toyota based on what? Why do you need to upgrade the Toyota? Just because you decided to? Got to have more info on that to see whether you should do that. If you have debt on anything, that's a no. If you're planning on putting an upgrade to that, if you're planning on financing that, that's a no. And as far as what would Dave say? No debt. and paying off debt before you upgrade anything. Based on these numbers, how much should I spend? 2,500 bi-weekly take-home pay, 2,137 monthly child support. Income will decrease to 1,700 in 6 months. I have no debt. Great. 165K in cash. High yield savings account, 75K. Why do you have 165K in cash? I mean, you can buy whatever you want, just not a new vehicle. Or not one worth, what is it? 92. How old is the two teenagers? Yeah, so that will be, I see, that will be decreasing, and probably in a few years, you'll be you won't be getting any more child support maybe, before too long. So I wouldn't count that in as far as what you're doing. So I'm gonna say a 50,000. I mean, 46,000 vehicle at most. $46,000 at absolute most. And you have 165K in cash. So what? I don't know what the problem is. You just want to know how much. How much should you spend? As little as possible is my advice. And at which point, then I would go back to what's wrong with the 2011 Toyota? 175K in retirement. I was a stay-at-home mom for 13 years, so I'm behind 100,000 in 529 savings. Yeah, so that's why you don't buy a new car for no reason. Even a new to you car for no reason. What is the problem with the Toyota? Rent is high at 25 per month. Yep. Pay 7,000 annually towards private school. See, all this is your fault. All where you rent at and where you send the children to school, that's all on you. So that's your fault. And so that does have to be considered, though. And so what you give up when you do dumb crap like that is you don't upgrade your Toyota that's working fine, if it is. So, I mean, if it's, breaking and you're constantly having problems with it, and a mechanic tells you you should get out of that one, then you can get another car, but you don't have to spend, tens of thousands of dollars on it necessarily. Saving 17% of my income towards retirement, and also pay into the federal pension system. How much can I spend on a new car? It wouldn't be a brand new car. That's a no. Unless you have $1 million net worth. That's a no. Plan to buy used, right? What amount would Dave suggest? If you only have the one vehicle, $46,000. Congratulations. Knock yourself out. Would that be the best thing with you being behind on investing? You're the one that said you're behind in 529 savings. And so if you want to help the kids with college, then maybe that would be better than, or buy, even if it does need to be replaced, you buy a cheaper vehicle, and then you have more money for the children's 529, and for your investing in retirement. For your retirement. So that would do that. That would take care of that. So you don't have to get an even $20,000 car. Cars that cost less than that do work. So, I need to know if there's something wrong with that. If there's something wrong with that, then it's time to upgrade. Then that means that's just some dumb crap you want to do. And so you don't need to do that. But again, even if you were to do that, it would be paid for in cash, and 46K would be the most. McFlouty 55. Does investing 15% include a pension that is already being taken out? Yes, it does, but the percentage has to be divided by 2. It counts as half of the 15%. And the reason it counts as half is because pensions do not make as much as the market does. I've heard Dave answer this question 2 different ways. Doubt it. My pensions comes out of my check against my will every week. Well, sometimes they don't give you a choice on it. Sometimes that's the job. That's part of the job. That's how it's going to happen. Do I include this into weekly 15% investing or pretend like it's not even there? No, you can count it. Say like, if 15% of your income is going towards that, that would only count as 7.5. So you divide whatever percentage of your income that is by 2, or multiply by 0.5. And then that's how you would get if it's 15% that's going into for your pension, then that would count as 7.5, which means you additionally have to invest 7.5 yourself. I've heard Dave say to pretend like it's not even part of the equation. That would be the match, he says, for that. I have never heard him say that for a pension. He says that counts as half. Then I think I remember one of the personalities say that it should count for a part of it. What do y'all think? Well, I don't have to think about it because I know. I don't have to have an opinion because I know what the advice is, and that would be that it counts as half, because it does give you money in the future. It does give you money in retirement, but not as much as the market would make if you invested that money instead. And so that's why it only counts as half towards the 15%. Is 15% into 401k and Roth IRA enough to become a millionaire? All right. Illogical. Must not understand math. How math works. If you make $10 a month, 15% of that going into 401k and Roth IRA would not be enough, right? It depends on your income, my friend, and your expenses, because that limits to what you can invest, even if you are on step 7. And the problem is we don't know where on the baby steps you are, etc., etc. Let's see if it gives all the information. I have 38,213. 401k is at 18,610. Roth IRA is at 19,603. Yeah, it doesn't say how old either, but I'm think that's not that much. So investing maybe, and especially, either have its bad investments, or this is just like maybe 2 years. This is like maybe 2 years of investing. Or bad investments if it's longer than about 2 years. House is paid off. Fabulous. I'm investing 8% in 401k and maxing Roth IRA at 7,000 every year. Okay. So you should be doing the 15%. So that's what you should be doing while you still have a mortgage, but you don't have a mortgage. So if you are actually on baby step 7, you can invest as much as you want. 34 years old. Okay, but I mean, that's horrible for investing in both of those. Depending on if it's less, if it's more than 2 years, that's not good. You don't have good investments in there, so you'd have to change those out. Or at least some of them. If I continue investing like this for 33 more years, would I be a millionaire? I make 98K a year. I could max 401k, but I have some business ideas I want to pursue. Yep, and see, that's what happens. So the problem is you get some business ideas and you spend money on that. Definitely no loans for that. You build businesses at the speed of cash. But so you say you dump $10,000 in there and it doesn't work out. If you're worried about retirement, maybe you put the 10,000 in there and you wait to do your little business idea. So curious, would I be okay as long as I contribute at this amount for the next 33 years? Okay. So again, we're missing some information, but let's go ahead and try it. What do we got? We got 34 and investing. Where's the where's the income? We don't have enough information here. Oh, 98K a year. Okay. 34 and 98K, and starting with 37. Oh, that's right. It's not just one, it's both of those. Okay, so 37. No, they might be okay. They might be okay investments. For 2 years. Again, it depends on when he started doing that. But let's just go where he is now. So that's 34 and 98. 30, 34. We'll let you retire at 67. Um, current in. Oh, I said 37. 38. $38,000 and then 98. $38,000. And so we need to do calculator. And that's 98K, and that is of gross, times 0.15, and that equals how's that 14? What? Oh, because I only put 98. Okay, so it's 14.7K. So 14,000. That monthly divided by 12 months. Okay, so that's 1,225. 1,225 a month. And annual return, let's go conservative with the 10%. And so again, should be making, it all depends what that's in. And definitely if it's much more than 2 years that he started investing in, that he's been investing, I might be concerned about that because the market has been gangbusters past 2 years. But let's see. So $4 million by then. So I would think should be fine. So theoretically, you could try your business idea again as well, but I would definitely make sure you got to make sure at minimum anything you are personally invested in should be making 10% average per year. And again, if you want to find out what it should be for this year, the past year, it should have made 32% in the last year. And so if it hasn't in the last year made close to 32%, then you got a problem. And large cap is even more than that at 35%. So might want to take a look at those investments. So all that depends. Well, let's take another look at it. So probably would be able to afford it, but you do have to do that at the speed of cash. It didn't say anything about retiring early or anything like that. It's a business idea. So as long as I contribute at this amount for the next 33 years. Okay, so that's 34. So that is 67. Okay, yeah. So that's exactly what we have. Okay. So that would mean what? We have 7,000 in IRA Roth every year. And then whatever the 8% is, so that should be, if that's 15% total, see, that would be the problem. If that 7,000 is not 7%, so you're not investing enough, even though that will make it. The advice is to do 15%. Let me get the calculator going here again. 7 divided by... Yeah, about 7. Yeah, so that's right. So 7 and 8 is the 15. So yeah, okay. So yep, doing well. And excited that allows you to become a millionaire uh even before you stop working. That is millionaire in 2043. So congratulations. So doing fine. But you can see how low it is here. So I would be conservative with any business ideas and don't go crazy on that. And no loans, definitely. And this is assuming that you don't have any loans now, because you would get rid of that done. You said the house is paid off, so I'm assuming there's no other debt. So other than that, seems like you're good. And so you can do that over. If you have the house paid off, you're not on baby step 6, you're on baby step 7. Congratulations. So I'm wondering what the discrepancy is there. Maybe set that a long time ago, although I think you have to set it on each post you do. So, yeah, the problem be if like there's any other kind of debt, or if he has baby step 7 because he has rental property that he has on a mortgage, and so that's a problem as well. In addition to his other business ideas you want to pursue. So I would limit that for a while. I mean, you don't have to wait until you're actually a millionaire, and you'll be a millionaire anyway because your house is included in that. So whatever your house is worth plus whatever you have in investing, as long as you don't have any debt on anything. And since it says baby step 6, but he said the house is paid off, I'm gonna hope that that's the case, and he doesn't have other debt. Flaky Calligrapher 62 has posted in here quite a bit. Happy Thanksgiving. Just wanted to wish everyone a great day. That was yesterday. No, 2 days ago. Let's share the things we are thankful for this year. I'll start. I'm thankful for my friends, my cats, and my job. I'm thankful that I will be having a nice dinner with friends this weekend. How about you? I am thankful that I am now living again near my children. So that makes me very happy. Time is it? There, let's do a little bit more. Comfortable East 9293 need some vacation ideas. Well, I don't know what you like. I mean, Hawaii's probably good. Expensive. Disney World. Let's see. So we just did a restart due to a little backslide this summer. So then that's no vacation until you get back on track, and you're at least in baby step 4. There's no vacation. I promised our son a vacation this year. That was dumb. And so now you say, well, I'm sorry, we backslid, and so I can't do that. But now we are trying to pay things off. Okay, so if you have debt, there's no vacation. You don't even think the word vacation. The son will live, I promise you. Can give you some ideas of free or cheap activities to do during a staycation with a 10-year-old. Anything where you don't have to shell out money. I mean, you can even go to a movie every week. That doesn't cost that much money. And you do free things like you go to the park and you play ball or play tennis or something like that. Things that are free. So let's see, what else free can you do? You can do all sorts of stuff. And you know what you can do? You can Google it. You can Google free stuff to do instead of making me try to have to come up with something. Because I do the stuff that's fun for me to do. Probably it might not be the same things that you think is fun. Like I think tennis is fun. I think video game. You can play video games with your kid as well. But the thing you wouldn't be buying new video games. You wouldn't be doing that while you're paying off your dumb debt that you did during your backslide. So there is no actual vacation, but you can make it seem more like one by doing more things together. And rather than go to the movies, just have movie night or like once a week, and watch things at home. I like oats. All right. Used car stories, recommendations. First of all, happy Thanksgiving to all you as well. Very thankful for all that God has given me. Alrighty. I have a car loan of about, God did not give you that. That was your dumb mistake. Left on my truck. It's worth about 40 to 45K. I'm worried that when I sell it, I'm going to get a bad used car. What are your recommendations for used cars? Any success stories? Generally, you're not going to go wrong with a Toyota or Honda, is what I understand. I'm not a car guy, so I don't give a crap about that. The last time I needed one, I found a Suzuki, a 2005 Suzuki, not Samurai, Suzuki Verona, and it had 80,000 miles on it. And it was 1750. It was 1750, and the seller was nice enough. I didn't know the person. I think I found it on Craig's. I can't remember if I found it on Craigslist or Cars.com, but the seller was nice enough to take it to my mechanic. I made the appointment for him, but he took it to my mechanic to look at, and my mechanic says, well, it's going to need everything looks all fine, and but it will need a new tailpipe. And so that ended up being $250, and so altogether it was $2,000. So like I said, 80, and I still at when did I think last year, I think it took me 2.5 years or something like that to put the other 20,000 miles on it. Yeah, I don't know where you people are going with all of your miles that are on vehicles. Um, but yeah, you just have it doesn't have to be a Honda or a Toyota. Those just are generally good, is what I hear, apparently. But anyone you find for sale, you can have your mechanic look at it and see what your mechanic thinks about it. Now, that doesn't mean that it's 100% not gonna have a problem if your mechanic says it's fine, and so that's what you gotta factor that in with your decision. But the problem is that your truck that you owe 20,000 on still, that could develop problems as well. So we just don't know. So you can't like keep that truck and think that automatically that's going to be the better move. It's definitely not the better move financially, but it may also not be the better idea in terms of car performance either. So choose wisely. Embattled turt. Okay, I don't know what a turd is. Need some advice for what to do next. Baby steps. So I'm currently a freshman in college. I'm not working, and I'm paying cash for college using scholarships and grants. Excellent. The only expenses I have are gas and food, as well as the $130, $6.50 a month for my phone. That's too much. So financing the phone, dumb as crap, dumb as crap, dumb as crap. Pay off the phone and then switch over to Mint Mobile or Visible, or there's a couple other discount phone plan services. I am a full-time college student, so I do not have a job. You said that already, that you're not working. I got a great idea. Get your butt to work too, at least part-time. Edit. I forgot to mention I'm debt free at the moment. What should I be? Okay, so what should you be doing is you should be making up your mind here not to say dumb crap like I am debt free at the moment. You keep it that way forever, except perhaps for a mortgage on a house that you will be living in. That is the only exception. No other debt. No, 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 no. Saying I'm debt free at the moment is the exact wrong way to face the situation or to think about life and like a mindset to have. That is very wrong. So you should be doing that. You should be going to work at least part time. I mean, at least 2 days a week on the weekend. Why not? Why not? So the way you can figure out if you have time to work, um, obviously not the time that you're actually studying and you got your nose in a book. That's fine as long as it's related to college. We're not talking about Harry Potter here, unless your degree is in that, which you probably can't, get a decent job if your assignment is to read Harry Potter novels. But we're talking about actual in textbooks. If your nose is in textbooks, then that's fine. That part's fine instead of working. That part's fine because that will help ensure that you graduate. So that is great. Now, if you are just partying down, playing video games, and all that crap for even 20 hours a week, you can get your butt to work for some of that. So that's the issue there. So I would be doing that, and that just sets a good work. Good work ethic is great, and also the extra money coming in would be good because you're paying cash for college using scholarships and grant. Okay, that's not you paying cash for it really. The scholarships and grants are paying for it. There's none of your actual saved cash involved. So you could work some and save cash in case one year you don't have enough in scholarships or grants, that kind of thing. So that you don't have to go in debt, which it sounds like you're getting ready for by saying I'm debt free at the moment. So that's what you should be doing there. And of course, the thing with the phone, pay it off, work, pay off the dumb finance phone, and go to a $25 a month or so phone plan. So that's what you should be doing. Beyond that, any working money you have, once you get rid of that, you could save a small emergency fund. But since you only have the gas and food, and chill out on the food. Don't be buying crazy stuff. Don't be eating out all the time either. But you could do a small emergency fund, maybe $500 for a college student would be fine. But then other than that, save it for whatever. Even if you don't use it to pay for college, you can use it for a deposit on an apartment after you move out of the dorm, if you're living there, or once you move out of parents' house. Doesn't say if you have a car, maybe you'll need a car or something like that, so you would just be saving it. But that allows you to have that money ready so that you don't start thinking, oh, I need a car right now, guess I'll finance it. That's a nay. That would be a big fat nay. Should I buy a Tesla? Complete Union 8538. That's a no. Well, actually, that's fine if you want to. But not financing it. Long-time reader, first-time poster in this sub. I don't know if Rachel still has one. I know George does. They both have Teslas and they like it. I really want a Tesla, but the Dave Ramsey in me tells me to STFU, indeed, and drive what I have. Yeah, you don't upgrade in car just because you feel like it, unless you're on baby step 4 and higher. and then you're choosing to spend money on that instead of investing or save for key college or paying off the mortgage early. But that's fine. So you got to be on step 4. So let's see. Unmarried, don't own a house, rent is $1,000. Have a dog. Total net worth is 140K with an emergency fund of 10 months. That's too many. It should be 6 months. As I am in sales, okay, which isn't guaranteed money. All right. I mean, we'll pretend the extra 4 months is like a Hill and Valley account, but that might probably be high for a Hill and Valley account. So hopefully, no debt. Hopefully, should be investing. Let's see. I have made great money the last 2 years and am able to save around 50% of my income, if not more. Great. I get a base salary of 75K. In a bad year, it would be around 130K on my W2. Tesla has 0% financing. That's a no. Doesn't matter if it's 0. It's still a no because it's still debt. So that's a no. On a 5-year term, and I really want a Model Y, which would cost me 41K after the tax credit. I drive a fair amount for work, and my car now is a stick shift, loud and bumpy. Wah. Please tell me if I'm making a mistake. You're making a mistake. Don't do that. If you want to buy it, you save up the money first, and then you buy it. Also, let's see, 140. So yeah, that's well within your 41K. And that's a new car. You don't get a new car because your net worth is 140K. Your net worth is not $1 million, which it has to be in order for you to buy a brand new car, including if you or buy a brand new car, you'd have to be a millionaire. Even if you were paying in cash, you still have to be a millionaire per the advice. Otherwise, it's too much depreciation in car. Too much has too much depreciation happening with it. Just made a $14,000 lump sum payment on mortgage. Fabulous. We have prepaid $30,010 toward the mortgage this year. Great. Now it's down to $258,000. Let's keep going. Indeed, do keep going. Don't ever stop going. We stay going. That's the way you don't. That way you never have to say "let's go." Overused. So you don't have to say that if you keep going. But also, when I see stuff like this, I just like to make sure that you are not saving $1,000 a month before you're doing this. You should be putting the $1,000 a month as an extra payment on the mortgage instead of saving up a lump sum first to put it on there. Because guess what you did while you were saving it up? You paid extra interest on all that money. So don't do that. Moki 9, is that like Smokey? My daughter had a cat named Smokey, and when she was really little, she wasn't saying all her words correctly, as children do, and she called it Moki. Couldn't do that SM together thing. It's difficult for the babies. Is my high insurance normal? Some states are way more expensive. Let's see, 20 years old, drive a 2024 Honda Civic and X1 hatchback. I'm paying around $450 a month for full coverage. That does seem high, but some states are really high. I feel like, not feel like. I feel like for me, that's way too much. I've never been in an accident, and I drive as safe as I can. Okay, you driving as safe as you can doesn't affect the insurance. You're not having an accident. That's probably good for it, but it depends. You just being 20 and not 21, that's probably a little bit extra as well. So I don't know what's going on, but it could just be high in your state, or you could just be buying it from a very expensive insurer. So what you can do is you can shop around for cheaper insurance in your area, and if they all are about that price, then that's what the price is there. Sarah H here now. Christmas budget. Alrighty. Hey, I was wondering what everyone spent on Christmas and what do you spend on gifts? Do you gift folks with kids? Is your budget higher? Okay. Okay, none of that matters. It doesn't matter what we spend on Christmas. It doesn't matter if you give gifts to people with kids. Um, and is your budget higher because of that? None of that matters. What matters is what baby step you're on. If you're in baby steps 1, 2, or 3, you're simmering down on Christmas until you're on step 4. Simmer down until you get steps 1, 2, and 3 done, and then you can be more generous with gift giving in general, not just at Christmas. But like if you're still on baby steps 1 or 2, we're talking. This is when Dave says Christmas is a craft. That means you're making something, and which a lot of people think. Excuse me, that is more personal, and so that means more to some people. Whether it will to a little kid that would rather have a video game, probably not. But that's tough crap. So yeah, you don't and again, this would be your justification station for people to get into debt to do Christmas too. And that is the dumbest crap I ever heard of. Even if you want to spend a lot of money, guess what? You've known that Christmas was going to be December 25th for years now, right? It's the same day every year, so that means you save up, you can put the money in a sinking fund to do that. So you would just have that. But you don't in November start thinking about it and spend more money than you should on Christmas because you're not in step 4 yet. So you got to be intentional. We're intentional with everything around here. UK student loan advice is the same advice as here. If not, it's not to let the clock run out on it, like they do over there, because they forgive it after 20 years or something like that. I can't remember. Me, man, 31, and my wife, female, 29, have around 125,000 British pounds. Love. Student loan debt. We are from the UK, and ordinarily, if we are in the USA, like more baby step followers are, probably, we would be encouraged to pay off the debt. You would still be encouraged. The advice is the advice. It doesn't matter where you are and if they have 20-year forgiveness or not. You took the debt out, you need to pay it back. However, the UK system works differently. To keep it simple, we essentially pay 9% extra tax on our monthly salary to repay the loan. The loan is written off after 30 years. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Don't do that. Okay, so the only thing where I would say that just that would be fine and not paying it off is if they don't let you pay it off if you call them and say, I would like to pay this off. If they say, well, no, you can't do that. We have to do it this way, to take 9% extra out of your monthly salary. Instead of doing that, we have to do it that way. So that would be, it doesn't matter if they forgive it after 30 years. But I have around 20 years left and my wife 24 years. Yeah, that's keeping it around like it's a pet. Do not do that. Pay it off. You were the one that took the loan out. I think I might come close to paying off the loan plus a lot in interest if I keep up with repayments, but my wife is likely to be written off. However, if I were unable to work for, let's say, a year or two, or saw a dramatic reduction in my salary, then I'd be overpaying for it to be written off anyway. Well, again, the advice is not for that, and you may not like the Ramsey advice because of it, but that's still the Ramsey advice. That's the Ramsey advice even for ones that are forgiven here. Because you took it out, you should be paying it off. We have enough savings to wipe out half the total debt. What would you guys advise? Pay it off. That's what we advise here. And, I mean, you can throw out the entire Ramsey thing. I know that some Brits, for sure, some UK people do follow the baby steps, but they do keep that student loan around. So they do that. Also, it's not student, it's student. I don't think that's a British thing, because I know sometimes they like leave out the letter T, like in British. But yeah, and tons of people do that. So again, you can do whatever you want to do, but that's not the Ramsey advice, even for people in the UK. So up to you what you'd like to do about that. But generally, Dave is like, you took it out, pay it off. But physical 4367, to those on baby step 7, do you give like no one else? I am not on there, so I can't answer this question. I would like to think that people are more generous once they get to baby step 7, I would think. If so, what do you do? Do you make big donations to charity, or do you help the little people with groceries or a car repair? Well, you can do both as well. I mean, you can give a big donation to a charity. You can also set a giving budget, and then you just take care of it yourself. And as you see, if you come across anybody that needs money for something, then maybe you could supply that. If it's something for like necessary, like electric, or rent or something like that. If they need any kind, or they need some kind of medical procedure, that kind of thing, you can donate money to them for that. It's up to you. All of that's up to you. So, hopefully anybody on baby step 7 is giving like no one else. I'm sure there's people that are not, but hopefully they are. But as far as you are the one that got on baby step 7, and just like getting on to baby step 4, you put yourself in a position where you can spend more money and you can put more expensive things in your budget as long as you pay cash for it, etc., etc. It's just everything you spend makes it longer to get to step 7. So, but once on step 7, you just set a giving budget. It's no different than any other expenses, and you just can make sure you spend that. And like you can do some on your own, and then if you set a budget for say $1,000 a month, even, and you've given away at the end of the month, you've given away $900. Then you can have a charity in mind, and then on that last day, you send all the extra to that particular charity, or multiple, or your church, or anything else. Sufficient big 7185 on baby step 6, 52 years old, hate job, looking to buy a house. Best next read. What? Asking for a book recommendation? Hi there, hi guys. I'm baby step 6 and trying to figure out the next book to help prepare for all the decisions around baby step 6 home ownership, plus possible move and job change. That would be the Total Money Makeover. It would be the same information as you're always using to do this stuff. Okay, so if you're on baby step 6 right now, that means you have a mortgage you pay off. Why are you looking to buy a house? Let's see. Here's my rundown. 52-year-old, fully on own, i.e. single, renting for years. You're not on baby step 6 then until you buy a house. So you're doing it wrong. Baby step 3B is saving the down payment. So you're listing it wrong. Let's see. No house, home equity, mortgage, nada. Okay. IT worker, but I really dislike my job. If you're on baby step 4, doing 4, 5, and 6, even baby step 3B, you're saving for a down payment. That's better than being in baby step 3 or baby step 2 or baby step 1 even. And so that puts you in a better position to be able to change jobs. But that's up to you. Let's say you live in one of the more expensive areas, you can move to a less expensive area as well. That will also be a better financial decision in most cases in the nation. Can happily move and open to many areas in country. Great, but we either need a local IT job there or work fully remotely. Okay, that's on you to get then. I'm open to either. I have cheap taste. Great. I would like to buy a home for reasons of independence and diversification. That's fine. Move to the Midwest and you can get a house for $100,000. What's the problem? If that's your first house, first time home buyer, Dave says 10% is fine. So you need $10,000 for that. If you want to avoid private mortgage insurance, PMI, you have to put down 20%. So that would be $20,000 on $1,000 house. That's going to be like your very low end of it. You can move to a lower cost of living area, but not as low as the Midwest. You can do that as well, and that'll kick up your costs on buying the house. So let's see. So you're not on baby step 6 for 100% certain. Have cheap taste, good retirement savings, fabulous, good but not awesome. Okay, so that's why you would want to. You should still be doing 15% of your gross income. Do that. I would like to buy a home for independence and diversification, and I think I'd enjoy currently reading Proximity Principle. Yeah, that's about working. That's about different jobs and such. So if you hate your job, that's a good one to read for that. Given all I just described, what would you suggest as my next read? They don't have a book for what you're talking about that I'm aware of. I don't think any of their books handle this, but the baby steps do. And you just have to get yourself in the position of doing that. You have to save up the down payment for that. And you can't do that if you move to a different job because you think you'll like it better and then you make less money. So that's going to make that take longer. I'd like to tackle some reading this weekend. Yeah, I don't have one for you for this specifically. I'm hesitant to read the Total Money Makeover in case I just get sad. Well, I mean, that's going to tell you the basics of it. Most of it I'm already doing, and doing a house so late in life, but haven't. Yep. You could still live another 50 years, dog. So you could be in that house another 50 years. And did baby step 1 through 6. You have not. You're not on 6. So I don't know what you don't understand. Right now, until you decide to buy a house, you're on baby step 7. Following Bible concepts about money learned years ago that I followed. Right, great. Thoughts on best next read? Thanks. It would be the Total Money Makeover. Read it. Read it. And I mean, you're doing a lot better than most 52-year-olds, I assure you. But it all depends on the things that you are willing to do to make your life better, and also do the things that you want to do, like buy a house instead of renting forever, which, again, 52 years old, like I said, you could live another 50 years. And so that would be at most a mortgage that would be paid off in 15, but probably more, faster than that. And then you wouldn't have to pay mortgage or rent anymore. And so that definitely helps in retirement as well. So again, there's not really a book other than, read the Total Money Makeover, and that will explain to you the house buying recommendations, and that still applies to you even though you're buying a house late. And it also has a list of the baby steps, so you can see that you have your baby step misnamed because baby step 6 is pay off your mortgage early and you do not have one. So if none of the other steps apply, if they're all taken care of, then you're on baby step 7 and congratulations. But it sounds like you want to go down to baby step 3B, which is save the down payment. Stuck in the sky. Question about baby step 6, mechanics of paying off mortgage early. We're new to Dave Ramsey. All right, welcome. He's the no debt guy, by the way, in case you were wondering. We're not yet to paying down the mortgage. Okay. But should be soon, within a year, hopefully. Okay, great. Based on a recent question about making a lump sum mortgage payment, and that's a no, as we remember, right? On any debts, you do not save up money on your own and then put it to a debt or put it into the market. You do not do that. You do it as you get every little bit of money, and then you make more on the interest or gains in the stock market. And if you're paying off something, you pay less interest by paying more of it off earlier. Has Dave ever addressed how to best pay down a mortgage early? Yeah, you put every dollar you can to it every single month. You can even do it every week if you want to. They might not be fans of you at the lender, but you can do it. If they let you do it, you can do that. Otherwise, you just put extra every month, and you have to specify that you want it to go to principal so that they don't just make you apply it towards next month payment and the next month payment early and the next month after that's payment early, so that that keeps the interest built in there. And even if you tell them just apply to principal, some of them, and it depends on your loan too, because they may have a thing in there where you definitely have to pay all the interest. It's like baked in and you cannot get out of it. But generally, you just have to tell them every time or designate on the check, and you can't just write apply to principal only. You can't just write that on there and assume that they'll do it. You generally would have to call. Anyway, and so that's how you would do that. You do not do lump sum for anything. Except settling a collections debt, and maybe might be something else as well, but I can't think of it right now. But definitely paying off debt and also investing. You do not do lump sum. You put in the money immediately as you have it. Should you set aside funds in a high yield savings account? No. Until you have enough to pay off the entire balance? No. Or simply contribute some extra payment to the principal with early monthly payment, with every monthly payment. I can pros and cons to each approach. I don't know what that means. Or something else entirely. Thank you. Yeah, you just pay it off as you have it. And you also find out what they will allow at your lender. So, if they let you pay extra every week, put everything extra you have every week, and then you'll be paying the least amount of interest you can pay on that. Stupid questions. All right. 2024. All right. Can I retire at 42 and buy a beach house? Let's see if you gave the proper. Oh, update. Thank you. This is what I need to hear. We're going to work on adjusting our retirement plan for 5 more years of work. Maybe we won't buy the beach house. Maybe we will, but at 60 instead. Okay. Yeah. We're still going to retire, but okay. Just wanted to buy it early and not have enough in retirement. So good. Good. Weird Wonderful 2 is 23% the best I can do for a car loan. I don't give a crap. Because I don't know if you're familiar with Dave Ramsey, but he's the no debt guy. You do not buy a car with debt. That's a no. So, no. So, if that's the best you can get, and you want to do that, then you're in the wrong place for posting that. So 56 people answered, so probably was told that. Cool. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching this special, very special Saturday afternoon, answering your financial questions live stream with Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money if you got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track. You can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. If you have any questions about coaching or anything else on my channel, donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money or Cash App to $Coach Steve Money, or Walmart gift card to, again, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Also, super chats for live, super stickers for live streams, and pre-recorded videos. You can do super thanks on those. Upcoming streams, the Ramsey Show after show shows. That's Monday through Friday, each day of the week, except Saturday and Sunday. No weekend streams, unless I do an extra one like I did today. And that's approximately 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time when the Ramsey Show goes to exclusively to their app for the last 40 minutes or so of the video. As soon as they're done on YouTube, that's when I start. 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.